it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my 6th update for Clue Special Panning Edition. I created this project as a Pantastic Ladies collab. It started on June 9th, and we have been trying to solve Mr. Body's murder. You pick 3 prompts from each of the 3 categories: the suspects, the weapons, and the rooms. Once you choose your product, you roll a pair of dice, and that tells you how many times to use it. Every update, you take your completed prompts and arrange them into a 3-part guess, and then you get a piece of evidence back that eliminates one of those 3 parts. So far, I still haven't solved the case, but there are some people who are getting really close. No one's gotten it yet, but there's people who are no longer able to have 3 of each in each category because they've eliminated most of them. I did officially learn some new things, so let's go through what I was investigating for the last month. First up is Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. Peacock is something blue, and I was working on this Ardency in Modster Manuka Honey Enriched Pigment in the shade Peacock. This had been in for 2 months already. At the last update, I had 8 uses on it. My goal was 10. I did get the last 2, so I met my goal on Mrs. Peacock. Next is Professor Plum. He's been my prime suspect because I've guessed him several times and he hasn't been eliminated. He's something purple. I've been using this lip crayon. It's purple. I don't know who made it. My goal for this is 11 uses. Professor Plum's on to me, and I have used it so far 7 times, so I haven't met my goal of 11, so I can't guess my prime suspect this time, which is really disappointing. But next month, hopefully I'll be able to guess Professor Plum and maybe get the right weapon and room too. Next is Mrs. White. She is, of course, something white, and I've been using this Au Naturel Creme Shadow in the shade White Quartz. I only rolled a 4 for this, so I was able to meet my goal for Mrs. White and able to use her in a guess this month. Next is the lead pipe, and that's something that is a pencil. I've been using this Lord & Berry Silk Kajal Kohl pencil. It's a white eyeliner. I never hear anyone talk about these, but this is fantastic. At the last update, I'd used this 6 times. I only used it 3 more times, so I'm up to 9. So I have not yet met my goal of 11. I seem to roll a lot of 11s. And so next month I should be able to guess the lead pipe. This is the only prompt that I haven't been able to meet a goal on at least once yet, so I still haven't guessed the lead pipe. My second weapon is the rope. That's something you were roped into buying, and I was roped into buying this NYX glitter primer. I had the goal of using this 7 times, and I did, so I met my goal for the rope. My second weapon is the revolver. I've been using this Dry Bar Prep Rally Prime and Prep Detangling Spray. I've guessed the revolver several times. I think it was Professor Plum with the revolver somewhere. I did meet my goal on the revolver. I used it the 5 times that I had to, and so the revolver is up for use in a suggestion. The first room I was working on is a carryover from the last update, and it's the ballroom. It's something you save for a special occasion. I've been using this Benefit Gimme Brow. My goal was to use this 10 times, and I picked this product because I really don't ever do my brows unless it's a special occasion. I have nothing in my brows right now. At the last update, I had used this 7 times. I did use it the remaining 3 times, so I met my goal on the ballroom. My next room is the kitchen. I've been using this Mented Skin Silk. It's a loose powder in the shade Light Tan. My goal was to use this 8 times, and I did, so I met my goal on the kitchen. The last item I was working on was for the prompt Lounge, and that is a no makeup product. I've been using this Maybelline Shiny-licious lip gloss in the shade Berry Bella. This is most definitely the oldest lip gloss I have. I have the goal to use this 8 times, and so far I've only used it 4 times. I'm actually wearing it for the 5th time right now, so I haven't yet met my goal on the Lounge. So that means I was able to meet my goal on 2 suspects, 2 weapons, and 2 rooms. So that was convenient, and I was able to make 2 guesses. Kana is kindly holding my solution for me so I can play, and I asked her if it could have been Mrs. Peacock with the rope in the ballroom. And Kana told me that it could not have been the rope, so the rope was not the right weapon. I also asked if it could have been Mrs. White with the revolver in the kitchen, and Kana told me that Madeline Kahn had a solid alibi, so it was not Mrs. White. I'll put my evidence up on the screen. I've been tracking it in an app called CluePad. It looks just like the pads that you get in the board game. And so I'm down to 2 suspects, and those are Mrs. Peacock and Professor Plum. So it was one of the 2. I think it was Professor Plum. You can see how many times I've guessed him, and he's still not eliminated. I'm also down to just 2 weapons. It's either the revolver or the lead pipe. And I've again guessed the revolver several times, so I have strong suspicions that the revolver is the correct one, but it's definitely one of those 2. I was really hoping that a room would be eliminated this time, but if you get the evidence that you want every time, it means that your siblings were far too nice to you. That's just how the game works. So I still don't quite know which room. There are some that have been guessed twice and not eliminated, but none more than that. I'll keep working to try to eliminate more rooms. For this upcoming month, I've decided that I'm just going to stick with the 2 suspects in the 2 rooms. I could go ahead and bring in a third and hope that I don't get told the same thing again if I guess them. But for right now, I'm just going to reduce the number of products in this project a little bit, and maybe at some point in the future I'll go back up to 3 to try to eliminate more rooms if I can. I am still working on Professor Plum, so that means I'm just going to bring in Mrs. Peacock again. I'm still going to be using the Ardency and Monster Manuka Honey Enriched Pigment in the shade Peacock, and this time I rolled a 9. So I need to get 9 uses on Mrs. Peacock in order to guess her again. I'm not sure I'm going to do that in 1 month. I might only be getting 1 suggestion next time, but maybe it'll be the right one, who knows. With the weapons, I'm still working on the lead pipe to meet my original goal. I'm going to bring back the revolver, and yes, it is the same product. It's the Dry Bar Prep and Prime Detangling Spray, and I rolled an 11 this time. It seems to be my favorite number, so 11 uses on the detangling spray so I can try to guess the revolver again. For the rooms, I am still working on the lounge, and I am going to go ahead and bring in 2 rooms since I have plenty of them left to choose from, and the first one is going to be the ballroom again. And I'm just going to keep using this little sample of the Benefit Gimme Brow. I rolled a 9 this time, so 9 uses on the Benefit Gimme Brow. And the last room is going to be the kitchen again. I'm not bringing in any new products this time. It's going to be the same ones I've been working on. It's the Mented Loose Powder in the shade Light Tan, and I rolled a 7, so 7 uses on this powder to meet my goal. Next month, I suspect that I'm probably only going to be able to get 1 guess. I don't think I'm going to get all of my 9 uses on Mrs. Peacock, so I'm going to probably only have 1 suspect to choose from, but it's going to be my prime suspect of Professor Plum. Hopefully I'll be able to get him and meet my high goal on the revolver too, and maybe I'll get lucky and get it right. Good luck to all of you. Every time you eliminate something, you're getting a little bit closer, and hopefully we'll all be able to catch our killers soon. See you next month. Bye.